If you're thinking about selling your home here in Ellis County this year, there are 5 mistakes that I'm seeing my sellers make right now, or other sellers, and it's costing them serious money. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly what they are and how to avoid them. The first mistake is the biggest one. It's overpricing your home from day one. I had a seller listing appointment yesterday do the exact same thing. And I understand why this happens. I really get it. There's a lot of online algorithms. Sellers check Zillow. They talk to their neighbors. They see what someone else has listed down the street, and they think, let's start high and see what happens. Unfortunately, they don't listen to their agent, or they don't choose a local real estate agent that knows the market and is deeply familiar with all the market data here in Ellis County. An agent that has maybe sold over 100 properties in the city. But here's what actually happens. When a home is overpriced, it does not attract the strongest buyers. It attracts curiosity. Buyers will look online and maybe tour it online, but they don't feel any urgency to go look at your home. And in today's Ellis County market, buyers are informed. They know when something is overpriced, and they just don't ask their agent to go look at the home. And sellers come and say to me, why isn't my home being shown? But then the next step is the price reductions begin. The problem is, by that time, you've reduced your price. You've already lost the strongest window, which is the first 2 weeks on the market. The best time to create excitement is day one. And when you price your home correctly from the start, you create urgency and you create competition. I tell this to my sellers every single time on every listing appointment. Overpricing does exactly the opposite. It slows the momentum, and the goal is to not test the market. The goal is to position your home strategically within the actual market and what is going on in your neighborhood. It's not what's going on in Midlothian if I'm listing a home in Waxahachie. It's what's going on in your geographical area, and that's what's so important. Not all homes are created equal, even within the same neighborhood, unfortunately. Sometimes this is a very difficult conversation to have. I've already had to have it this year because the architectural style, the exterior elevation, sometimes the original builder quality impact buyers' perception. Even if you've added major upgrades, like a beautiful pool, new flooring, you've painted the whole house, maybe you've changed out the cabinets, maybe you've added other custom features. Those exterior improvements are super important and help out with the value of your home. But sometimes those fundamental and foundational elements like design, layout, the ceiling height, super important. The natural light, just the builder reputation, all of those things buyers compare side by side. And certain features naturally position other properties different and higher than another. So days on the market, of course, that has increased here in Ellis County and across the Metroplex. So this doesn't mean that a properly priced will sell overnight, but strong positioning from day one absolutely gives you the best advantage. And that's what I tell my sellers every time I'm in a listing appointment. The second mistake I see is that sellers make and do not understand the presentation. Buyers today are shopping online first. They're looking on Zillow. They're looking on Realtor.com. They're looking on all of these public websites. And that's where they're shopping first. This means your home is not always shown in person. It's on a screen. That's the first place. So if your home doesn't photograph well, if it is cluttered, if it is dark, outdated, not the best curb appeal because someone will swipe really quickly, or it's like crowded in pictures. You have too much stuff going on. Buyers scroll right past it. Presentation does not always mean that I'm asking you to fully renovate your home. Sometimes it's just decluttering. Sometimes it's cleaning. Sometimes there's minor things like fresh paint, lighting, landscaping, minor cosmetic updates to new light fixtures. That could be very low cost and high effective. Highly effective. In Ellis County, the over 600 up market, buyers expect the home to be move-in ready. They don't want to feel like they've inherited a project. And I always tell my sellers, think about this. Buyers are emotional first and logical second. So at every price point, resale homes are facing competition from new construction in every price point. Seriously. Builders are using incentives very strategically. They're adding rate buy downs, closing cost contribution, design upgrades. You get $50,000 in design upgrades when you go, sign up with them. If they walk into your home and they feel impressed with it because you've done the kind of things, then they justify the price. If they walk in and feel underwhelmed, they're going to negotiate with you if we can even get them in the door. So that is why it is so important to have presentation and understand that it directly affects the perceived value of your home. And perceived value affects your bottom line. It's just the truth. It's just what I have to have this conversation every day. Those deferred maintenance items, getting their HVAC, doing the paint touch-ups, super important. The third mistake is poor marketing. This is one of the biggest and most underutilized things that sellers just do not understand. Putting your home on the MLS is not marketing your home. Okay. And it's really hard to do a lot of marketing if you have an agent that's an hour or even 30 minutes away. The marketing is that's just exposure. Anyone can do putting it on MLS, but real marketing includes professional photography, videography, drone footage, social media strategy. That's just not means putting it out on MLS and it's going to go to realtor.com or Zillow. You have to have an agent that has a strong social media strategy, YouTube exposure, AI technology. It's huge. It costs a lot of money for us to learn this, but you have to do it. And it's really important to reach these Ellis County buyers and outside of Ellis County, especially relocation buyers. So the majority of serious buyers that start their search online, some search even start months and months, sometimes a year before being able to purchase. Your home doesn't stand out visually and strategically. It gets lost in the crowd. And especially in this higher price points, video is no longer optional. It is completely expected. Marketing isn't just about selling your home. It's about positioning your home, and positioning determines price. That's 100% true. The fourth mistake that I'm seeing is not preparing for the home inspection. What exactly does that mean? Well, once your home is under contract, sometimes that inspection, it's happened to me just this past weekend, that the inspection period, it's so critical and it's a huge phase in the transaction. A lot of times that home inspection happens the next day after the contract is executed. Inspectors are available. We got a lot of options here. So if buyers find multiple deferred maintenance items, even small ones, it can create hesitation and it can lead to tons of repair requests. It can lead to a lot of negotiating. So sometimes it can also even lead to the deal falling apart. And what I say is a lot of times to my seller, let's go ahead and do some simple things and servicing of your home, like getting the HVAC serviced. We do that anyway, but if you're listing in March and you sometimes wait until like July to surface your HVAC, let's go ahead and do it. Fixing any minor, tiny repairs to your plumbing, a dripping faucet, things like that. Peeling paint, doors that don't shut properly, addressing visible maintenance items like wood rot and all of those type of things. I hear sellers say all the time, let's just wait and see what the buyers ask for. I'm a little tight on cash. But, some sellers assume this step isn't necessary because they believe the buyer is just going to ask for those repairs during the inspection period. And that can be true. But when the inspection report comes back with a super long list, buyers can quickly feel overwhelmed. When small items are handled before the home hits the market, that proactive attention to detail can help you protect your negotiating power and ultimately your net proceeds. I went to a listing yesterday and the house had all of those things done. It looked really great and it's a big, big deal. So the inspection of your home doesn't just evaluate your home, it evaluates the buyer confidence, and confidence is everything. So the fifth mistake, and this one is subtle, is letting emotion drive pricing and negotiation decisions. I hear this a lot. Sellers get up in arms over someone asking for or lowballing the offer. Your home is personal. It holds memories. It represents years of your life. We completely get that. But just because someone comes in with a lowball offer doesn't mean they're going to not increase their price eventually. Buyers don't see your memories. They see square footage. They see layout, condition, location, value. I completely understand why sellers try to value the upgrades that they've made. You've invested time, you've invested your money and care into your home. But when pricing becomes the emotional rather than the understanding and really listening to your agent about the current market data, negotiations become challenging and you leave money on the table. The key is to stepping back, evaluating what buyers in our specific local market are actually paying, and partnering with a local agent who knows the inventory, the comps, and the buyer behavior in this area. The most successful seller approaches their sale strategically. And they understand that the goal is not to win in negotiations, it's to achieve the best possible outcome. This means being informed. It means understanding the data. It means being willing to listen to the market. So if you're thinking about selling this year in Ellis County, here's what I'd like you to remember. Pricing your home strategically from day one. Super important. Not overpricing. Investing in presentation. You've got an agent who is very familiar with staging and knows what is selling out in this market. Take advantage of that. Market your home professionally. Find an agent who is doing all of the things marketing-wise to get your home out there to the most amount of people. And then preparing for inspections, deferred maintenance items. And lastly, approaching this whole process with a strategic mindset, not an emotional mindset. If you're considering selling your home in Ellis County, I have a full seller guide linked below and a relocation guide for those of you who are thinking of moving to this area. Both give a step-by-step of how to prepare you to get your home on the market and to price and position your home correctly. I would love to sit down and meet with you in your home and with a private consultation so we can go through all of the details and expand it on everything that I'm talking about here today and how to get your home positioned correctly in the market. If this video helped, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below with any questions you have about Waxahachie, Midlothian, Ennis, Red Oak, and the Ellis County and Southern DFW area market.